35 years ago, I was a landscape contractor in the United States. At that time, I never expected to someday be living in a jungle. My business primarily hired Guatemalan migrants to work alongside us. They were hard workers, and I noticed that they sent most of their earnings back to their families in Guatemala. I also noticed how much they missed their wives and children. It struck me as a tremendously sad situation. The idea of a young man falling in love, getting married, having a few kids, and gradually coming to the realization that the only way they could provide for their family's well-being was to migrate, send money home, and maybe never see their families again. I also discovered that indigenous people make up almost half of Guatemala's population, but that they are all but excluded from development opportunities. Guatemala has the highest rate in the Americas of malnutrition and infant mortality from malnutrition, the highest rate of pregnant girls between 10 and 14 years of age, of forced marriage, and of boys migrating to the U.S. to find work. I had to do something about this, so I sold my business and I moved to Guatemala as a full-time volunteer. I joined forces with local community members, and coming from a Rotary family, I invited Guatemalan and international Rotarians to help build a vocational high school in the Guatemalan jungle. The school increases students' sense of cultural identity, strengthening their individual and collective self-esteem. It also implements a work-based learning methodology wherein students graduate with 9 months of hands-on experience, and most are gainfully employed before they graduate. 20 years ago, we handed the organization over to a local indigenous team made up of our first graduates who had gone on to college and returned to serve as teachers, administrators, and board members. I continue to serve as a technical advisor, but the local indigenous board of directors has done an amazing job mobilizing resources from the Guatemalan government and private sector, ensuring long-term sustainability and the ability to continually scale the program up. Over the years, with the support of visiting Rotary work groups and global grants, the school has grown to house more than 1,000 indigenous boarding students in 2 jungle campuses, and over 5,000 students have graduated with the skills they need to get great jobs in Guatemala and to lift their communities out of poverty.